Blood fills my mouth. Sirens scream around me. My pregnant body is crushed inside a flipped taxi on Highway 257. I grab my phone and dial Declan. My husband. The call connects. But it is not his voice.
Kimberly, Declan is in the shower. What is the matter?
Always Valerie, his beloved adopted sister. On my due date, he blocks my number for her. Warm blood pools beneath me. My baby is dying.
Help me. Highway 257. Save my child.
The Walsh family owns a private helicopter. There is still hope.
Sorry, Kimberly. Declan is busy with my birthday preparations today.
The line goes dead. I collapse. The gasoline smell warns me to crawl, but I do not move. I am too tired. 25 years. Half of them loving a man who never loves me back. I gamble everything. The Holden family fortune. My dignity, all for a single scrap of Declan's affection that never comes. I close my eyes. If there is another life, I will not make the same mistakes. A voice cuts through the darkness.
Mrs. Walsh, are you really wearing that pink dress to the charity auction tonight?
I snap awake. A mirror. A familiar bedroom. Maggie stands behind me, holding a short pink dress I once chose to please Declan. This is 3 years ago, the Howard family charity auction. I am reborn.
I will wear the beige custom dress. It matches my emerald necklace, but Mr. Walsh hates formal dresses. And the emerald necklace from your grandmother, is it not too grand?
Last time, Declan takes that necklace without asking and gives it to Valerie. When I try to take it back, he calls me jealous in front of everyone. The elite laugh at me, calling me a fool who chases her husband like a desperate dog. Not this time.
Get the necklace. Clear out every dress in that wardrobe.
Without waiting for Declan to pick me up, I take a Lamborghini from the garage and drive myself to the auction. Sunset hits the waterfront estate. I step out of the car. I hand the keys to the valet. My phone rings. The caller ID flashes. Declan.
Who authorized you to take the emerald necklace? I promised Valerie she could wear that necklace. Bring it back right now.
I keep walking into the auction venue, invitation in hand.
This necklace is from my family. Since when do you dictate how I use my own wedding gift?
Silence on the other end. He has never heard me talk back before.
Return it immediately, or you will regret it when I lose my temper.
In my past life, that tone makes me grovel like a dog for any scrap of his attention. Now it just makes me sick.
Using your wife's wedding gift to impress another woman. Tell me, Declan, are you a CEO or just a gigolo?
I hang up. He has always been the one to end calls first. Not anymore. Beside him, Valerie puts on her best wounded look.
Is Kimberly upset because you wanted to take me to the auction? Is that why she will not lend me the necklace?
She is playing games to get my attention. Manipulative and jealous, as always.
Inside the venue, a manager approaches me about auction donations. I touch the emerald at my throat.
I am donating under my own name. And I am donating this necklace.
The manager's eyes go wide. He knows its value. Mrs. Walsh, this necklace is far too valuable for a charity auction. It is a historical piece crafted by top artisans. But I remember how Valerie auctions it without my permission in my past life. How it catches Renee Howard's eye. How the Walsh family rises on my necklace, while Declan drags me out and calls me insane. Not this time.
Charity requires sincerity, and I have one request. I want to present it on stage myself. No one has a closer bond to this necklace than I do.
Upstairs, in a private room, a man in a champagne suit watches the whole exchange. Mrs. Walsh is generous. That necklace presentation will certainly leave an impression. He turns to a figure in the shadows, Chris Howard.
Does she know your grandmother has wanted that necklace for years?
Chris swirls his wine, eyes fixed on me below.
Is she not married? Why is she here by herself?
I have just finished signing the donation form and step away to find some water. A familiar, angry roar cuts through the hall.
Kimberly, who allowed you to come here without my permission?
I turn around. Valerie clings tightly to Declan's arm. She wears a glamorous gown and a look of fake innocence.
Declan, do not be angry at Kimberly. Maybe she is upset because I am your date tonight. I do not want to upset her. Maybe I should leave.
Declan stares at my dress. It fits perfectly. I stand straighter. I am not the crying wife anymore.
Having a spoiled, arrogant woman by my side ruins my reputation.
He pats Valerie's hand softly. His voice turns gentle only for her.
You are my only date. You always will be.
The crowd around us starts whispering. They say I should know my place. They expect me to break down. Instead, I give them a perfect, calm smile.
Yes, with Valerie as your date, I feel much more relaxed.
Valerie looks stunned. She thinks I have finally learned to shut up and obey. But I am not finished. I look straight at her.
At least she is more decent than a prostitute.
Anger flashes in Valerie's eyes, but she quickly puts on a face of great sadness and grievance.
Kimberly, you look down on us because you come from a higher status family. If you have issues, hurt me, not the Walsh family.
This is her old trick. She always brings up family status because Declan hates it. I brought investment into this marriage. I saved his company, and it burns his ego every single day. Declan turns to me, his expression dark and severe. He points his finger right at my face.
Apologize to Valerie right now. Hand over that emerald necklace, and maybe I will forgive you.
In the past, just 1 month of his silent treatment would make me agree to any crazy demand. But now I feel nothing but disgust for him. I refuse to kneel.
What? You expect me to kneel to your adopted sister?
I stumble back. eyes wide, voice rising with shock. Declan, you want me to kneel to your adopted sister? Every guest at the auction turns to stare. Tears stream down my face as I let my voice crack. I look straight at Declan, my husband, the man who brings his sister as his date. First, my wedding necklace. Next, my husband. Should I hand him over too? The crowd erupts with disgusted whispers. He wants his wife to kneel? Disgusting. The sister acts like the mistress. Everyone sees it. Declan's face darkens. He steps forward, jaw tight. I said apologize, not kneel. Stop twisting my words. Valerie clings to his arm, tears in her eyes. She insulted me first. She is jealous of Declan's love for me. Jealous? A wife jealous of her husband's sister? Interesting. The whispers turn uglier. Valerie shrinks back. Declan grabs my arm. His grip hurts. She is having a mental episode. She needs treatment. She always invents stories. The doctor warned us. In my past life, this lie destroys my reputation completely. But not tonight. I yank my arm free. My pre-marriage medical records are public. Perfect mental health. 1 year of your coldness and your closeness with her pushed me into depression. The crowd gasps. Declan stands frozen, speechless. He turns to his bodyguards, voice sharp. Mrs. Walsh is sick. Remove her, now. Bodyguards block every exit. I step back. Then a voice cuts through the chaos. Mrs. Walsh! Benjamin Thorpe. The Howard family's butler. He pushes through the crowd and bows slightly toward me. Mrs. Howard wants your necklace. She offers 10 times the auction value. Declan's face changes instantly. Valerie's eyes burn with jealousy. I touch the emerald at my throat and nod. I will discuss the price with Mrs. Howard personally. Benjamin smiles and gestures for me to follow. Declan steps in our path. His voice turns smooth. I am her husband. I handle family matters. Let me speak to Mrs. Howard. Valerie wedges herself between me and the butler. My sister-in-law has mental troubles. My brother and I should go instead. Benjamin Thorpe raises an eyebrow and looks past them both. Please. This necklace was donated under Mrs. Walsh's personal name. Benjamin looks Declan straight in the eye. His tone is polite but firm. The relevant family here is the Holden family. Unfortunately, your last name is not Holden. Declan shoots me a sharp glare. She does not have the authority to decide. I am the head of our family. This necklace should be donated under my direction, on behalf of the Walsh family. Benjamin does not even flinch. He gives Declan a cold look. We respect the ownership and intentions of the donor. This is a Howard family event. We follow Howard family guidelines. The words hit Declan like a wall. He stands there, speechless. But Benjamin is not finished. Mrs. Howard has noticed that ever since you and your sister arrived, there has been nothing but trouble. You even tried to have security detain guests at will. If you do not calm down, you may not be welcome here anymore. Declan's face goes pale. Getting kicked out of this event would destroy his reputation across Javille. I acted without thinking, Mr. Thorpe. Please, do not trouble Mrs. Howard with this. There will be no further issues. Benjamin ignores him completely. He turns to me and gestures forward. Mrs. Walsh, please follow me. I glance back. Declan stands frozen in shock. Valerie's face burns with irritation. A smile tugs at my lips. The gilded doors swing open. Inside, the room glows with classic elegance. An elderly woman rests on the sofa at the center. Renee Howard. Beside her sits a man in a sharp black suit. His presence is relaxed but commanding. His face is strikingly handsome. Chris, the Howard family's heir. The man who controls both legal and illegal operations abroad. But why is he back in the country? Renee stands and guides me to sit beside her. I have been searching for this necklace for years. I never thought it would end up with your grandmother. Thank you for letting it go. She begins to stand and bow to me. Mrs. Howard, there is no need for that. I pause. My parents died when I was young. My grandmother raised me. This necklace was her wedding gift to me. Now she is gone. The Holden family has fallen. I grip the necklace tighter. Then I make my decision. I hope this necklace can lead to a partnership with the Howard family. Renee Howard takes my hand.
Your in-laws are the Walsh family, who have been doing quite well recently. Are they the ones proposing collaborations?
Before I can answer, the man beside her, Chris Howard, does not even look up from his phone.
The Walsh family has the capability to collaborate with us, but Declan tends to overreach. He always wants more than he can manage.
I feel a chill run down my spine. He is warning me not to waste this chance on my worthless husband.
Mrs. Howard, there has been a misunderstanding. I am not here for the Walsh family. I am seeking a collaboration for my aunt with the Howard family.
The room goes dead silent. Chris finally looks at me, his interest piqued. Renee sounds surprised when she confirms I mean Mabel Holden, the current leader of my family. In my past life, the Walsh family steals this opportunity and crushes my aunt's company completely. I refuse to let history repeat itself. I tell Renee she can reject my aunt at any time, but I trust Mabel will prove her value. Renee is quiet for a second, then she bursts out laughing. She tells me she was so desperate to buy this necklace because it was a love gift from her late husband. The Howard family had once fallen on hard times, and she had pawned it for money. When they recovered, it was gone.
This necklace once brought luck to my family and me. I hope it does the same for you.
She says she is tired and asks Chris to escort me out. I hesitate, afraid she has not agreed, but follow Chris into the garden. As the doors close behind us, Chris speaks up.
Do not worry, my grandmother has accepted your proposal.
I look up at him, stunned. He says my aunt is dependable, far more than my villain husband. That is the first time I have heard anyone call Declan a villain, and I almost laugh. I suddenly realize I have forgotten to hand over the necklace. I try to take it off, but it gets tangled in my hair. The more I pull, the tighter it knots. Chris tells me to hold still, his cold fingers carefully working through the strands against my warm skin.
Just bear with it. These last few strands are stuck. I will need to break them.
I shut my eyes, but a furious voice shatters the moment.
What are you two doing?
Declan storms over with Valerie right behind him, his face twisted with anger.
No wonder you have been acting so differently today. You wanted to get rid of me to attract another man.
I shoot back, asking why he always keeps me away from gatherings so other women can flirt with him. Valerie covers her face in fake shock and accuses me of ruining the Walsh family's reputation with my wild behavior. Declan grabs my wrist, ready to drag me home like a disobedient dog.
Go home and stay there. Stop embarrassing yourself.
Before he can move, a firm hand seizes his arm.
Without Mrs. Walsh's agreement, you have no right to decide for her.
Declan sneers, thinking this handsome young man is just some rich woman's pet.
I am her husband. She must do whatever I ask. And who are you to interfere? Unfortunately, in this setting, I do have a say. My name is Chris Howard.
Declan's rage dissolves into pale-faced terror in an instant when Chris Howard strikes my husband like a physical blow.
Mr. Howard, I apologize for my behavior. Please do not take it personally.
Chris looks at Declan's hand still clamped around my wrist.
Could you let go of her now? I am terribly sorry, Mr. Howard. I was merely joking with my wife. A little romantic joke.
I grab a wet wipe from Chris's outstretched hand and scrub my wrist raw. Then I crumple the wipe and toss it right at Declan.
Mr. Walsh, we have been married for a year, and we have not even consummated our marriage. There is no romance between us.
The words hit the air like a thunderclap. Chris's eyes sharpen. He is still processing what I have just revealed. Then I look at Valerie, still glued to Declan's arm, and walk straight between them. I do not step around. I walk right through the middle and keep going. Behind me, Valerie stomps her foot in fury.
Declan, did you see that? She deliberately walked between us.
But I am already gone. Declan chases after Chris, shrugging Valerie off like dead weight.
Mr. Howard, did Mrs. Howard like the necklace?
Chris stops and turns, his expression coldly amused.
Why not be direct, Mr. Walsh?
Declan rubs his hands together, sensing an opening.
If you decide to invest in our project, then what belongs to the Walsh family could be yours. Our people are your people.
He is offering me to Chris, his own wife. As part of a business deal,
I think you are quite shameless.
Chris walks away, his smile gone. Not far off, Felix catches up with him. Chris glances back toward Declan, his voice simmering with contempt.
How could she be interested in a man like him?
After landing that verbal blow on Declan and Valerie, I walk straight to the parking lot. A man in a crisp suit stands beside my Lamborghini, talking on the phone. 2 massive bodyguards flank him. I know him instantly. It is Bryce Dominguez, Declan's most reliable secretary. In my past life, I deal with Bryce more than my own husband. I pop the locks. The Lamborghini's lights flash twice. As I try to pass him, Bryce blocks my way. His eyes sweep over me with a hint of admiration. I meet his gaze coldly. He finally breaks the silence.
Mrs. Walsh, Mr. Walsh insists you wait. He has urgent business with you.
The tone is polite, but the attitude is pure arrogance. Just like every other time he has dismissed me. I glance at the 2 bodyguards, then back at him. A laugh escapes my lips.
Did you not just return from abroad last year with your fancy degree? You rose to power fast. You must be extremely talented.
Bryce seems thrown off by the sudden question.
I do not know about talent, ma'am. I just do my job thoroughly.
I smile, a smile that does not reach my eyes.
Is that so? I think you are not just talented. You are loyal. Your loyalty is as unwavering as a dog's.
The bodyguards tense, their eyes darting toward Bryce. But Bryce just adjusts his glasses, utterly unfazed.
Dogs are indeed faithful. I must follow my master.
He holds out his hand, insisting I stay. I lean against the car, arms folded, looking him over. In my old life, I am the Walsh family's doormat. He sees me on my knees, scrubbing suits by hand, while the servants mock me. Now, I am not playing that role anymore.
Bryce, it is a pity a man of your abilities works for someone like Declan. Have you ever thought about leaving? Your future might actually brighten.
For the first time, a crack appears in his professional mask. The woman who used to be a lovesick fool is just gone. He studies me for a long moment, his voice heavy with hidden meaning.
Without Mr. Walsh, I'm nothing. Not even a dignified dog. But you have certainly changed since we last met.
My heart skips when Bryce half-jokingly says, I have changed. But I steady myself fast. No one can know I have been reborn.
People make mistakes, but they see the truth eventually. I have just cleared the fog from my mind.
A furious roar cuts through the parking lot. Declan storms toward me, Valerie struggling to keep up behind him.
Kimberly, you have lost your mind.
He stops right in front of me, eyes blazing.
What did you say to the Howards? Giving away that necklace, did you even think of me? Your husband?
I have seen him now. May I go?
Bryce pulls his hand back, but Declan grabs my car door before I can close it.
Did I say you could leave? Do not test my patience.
His fingers dig into my chin, forcing my face up.
Who do you think you are? You are my wife now, a Walsh. I'm asking you one last time, did you convince the Howards to invest?
He looks like a wild beast. Bryce steps forward quickly.
Mr. Walsh, be mindful. Do not let minor issues overshadow the bigger picture.
Declan's grip loosens, disgust twisting his face. But the moment he lets go, I slap him hard across the face. Before Declan can react, I pull pepper spray from my bag and spray it right in his eyes.
Ouch. My eyes.
Then I kick him straight in the groin with my long leg. Declan drops to his knees, one hand on his eyes, the other on his crotch. I laugh mockingly, looking down at the pathetic sight.
Someone told me you were a villain, and they were right. I have been too soft this past year, but blood ties are unbreakable. Men, easily replaced.
I kick him several more times while he kneels there.
I am done with you. We are getting a divorce. This is not up for discussion.
Declan struggles to open his burning eyes.
You bitch. You will never escape me. In life or death, you belong to the Walsh family.
Boiling with rage, I slap him again left, then right.
You stubborn fool. Get up and say that to my face if you dare.
The bodyguards and Bryce step back, shocked by my fury. Valerie's voice trembles as she tries to speak.
Kimberly, have you lost your mind? Declan is your husband. Are you trying to kill him?
I fix my cold stare on her. She nearly collapses under the weight of it.
Are you here to defend your precious Declan?
Valerie screams at me, her voice shaking with pure terror. She yanks a bodyguard in front of her like a human shield.
Stay away from me. If you take one more step, I will have them beat you up.
I laugh, feeling no need to waste another second on her. I kick Declan again as he lies groaning on the pavement.
Declan, your dear sister is threatening me. She is so fierce. I am scared.
He cannot even form a word in response.
Enough! You keep repeating the same old lines. I am confused how a top student cannot come up with a fresh insult. I am done here.
I stride to my Lamborghini and slam the door. I roll the window down just an inch and fix him with a cold stare.
I will have the divorce papers ready. Be sure to come back and sign them, you jerk.
Just as I start the engine, two tall figures cut across the lot toward me. It is Chris and Felix, moving fast. I recognize Felix, a true elite at the top of Javille's social ladder. In my past life, Declan has crawled for his favor and gotten nothing. Chris suddenly steps directly into my car's path, blocking me. My tires screech against the pavement. I grip the steering wheel, my palms slick with sweat, and stare at him through the glass. I almost hit him. Another second and he would have been airborne.
What do you mean by this, Mr. Howard?
Has he come to confront me for causing a scene on his family's property? But Chris only scans my face through the window, his expression tight with worry. The tension vanishes from his shoulders when he sees I am unharmed.
It is good to see you are okay, Miss Holden. Are you headed back home?
I stay silent, eyeing him with deep suspicion. This is only our second meeting. Why would he stop me just to check if I have been harassed? Chris catches my wary look. For a split second, his expression darkens. But he quickly composes himself and offers a faint smile.
Drive safely. And remember our agreement.
I am puzzled, but I nod and speed away. Felix, left behind, is burning with curiosity. But Chris just turns and leaves without a word to Declan's pathetic group. Only Bryce watches Chris leave with a knowing look before shouting at the guards to take Declan to a hospital. Felix is still troubled by Chris's weird behavior all evening. But as he moves to leave, a frail, trembling voice calls out behind him.
Mr. White.
Felix stops and turns. Valerie approaches, her eyes red with tears, the perfect picture of distress.
Why did Mr. Howard leave so abruptly? Were you not here to defend my brother?
Felix cannot help but laugh. He gives her a long, scrutinizing look.
What makes you think that, Miss Walsh? When did I ever say that Chris and I came to defend your brother?
After I drive away, Valerie makes her move on Felix. She wraps herself around his arm, playing the fragile victim. You are not just going to watch that Holden woman harass us, are you? Felix peels her fingers off one by one. From where I stand, it looks like you and Declan are the aggressors. Valerie's face goes pale. She has not realized Felix saw everything in the banquet hall. She tries to spin the story, but Bryce cuts her off. Miss Walsh, Mr. Walsh is looking for you. Felix cannot resist twisting the knife. Go on. Your beloved brother needs you. The way he says beloved makes Valerie squirm. She rushes to the ambulance where Declan lies stretched out. Valerie, where were you? She shoots a warning glance at Bryce and lies smoothly. I was talking to Felix, trying to get him to defend you. Chris is clearly having an affair with Kimberly. They humiliated you, Declan. Declan grips her hand tighter. You are the only one who truly cares about me. There is a bank card in my pocket. Use it at the auction. Do not worry about the cost. Valerie's eyes light up with greed. She reaches into his pants pocket. Her hand brushes against his private area. Her cheeks flush red. Declan winces hard. Valerie grabs Felix's arm the moment Declan is out of sight, pressing her chest against him.
Miss Walsh, are you suggesting Kimberly bullied you? From what I saw in the banquet hall, you and Declan were the aggressors.
Her face goes pale. Felix peels her fingers off one by one.
Your brother needs you. Go attend to him.
Valerie flees, defeated. That same stormy night, I drive back to Lakeview Haven Villa through heavy rain. Maggie rushes out with an umbrella, touches my forehead, and her face tightens.
Mrs. Walsh, you have a fever. Put on this coat, quickly.
Inside, Maggie hands me medicine and water, then reaches for the phone to call the family doctor. I swallow the pill and speak calmly.
Do not bother calling. No matter how many times you try, the doctor will not come. I will sleep it off.
Maggie freezes. She realizes I already know the Walsh family has abandoned me.
Should I call Mr. Walsh instead?
A smile tugs at my lips.
No need. Declan is still at the hospital. I nearly crushed his penis tonight. I am divorcing him. Pack his things and leave them outside the villa. The deed is in my name. If anyone should leave, it is him.
I head upstairs, fever and all, but my mind has never been this clear. At the hospital, a doctor draws back the curtain and starts writing a report right in front of Declan. He damaged his penis. No intimacy for 6 months. Any strain could cause permanent loss of sexual function. Bryce struggles to keep his face straight.
Genitals. Genitals. Cannot you use a more refined term?
It seems he might have psychological issues. I will arrange a psychiatrist. Keep him overnight for observation. Declan's rage is useless. Bryce drags him out, then leans against the wall outside and laughs until his sides hurt. When Bryce returns to the room, Declan is staring at his phone, looking murderous.
Valerie just spent $30 million at the auction. Call her. Tell her to get back here and bring the receipt. I needed to demand reimbursement from that wretched Kimberly tomorrow.
Bryce nods politely, the obedient assistant. But in Bryce's view, Declan has always depended on my money, except for those occasional times he and Valerie need a hotel room and condoms. The fever clings to me, but my mind will not stop racing. Maggie's death in my past life, it has to be Declan's doing. He has the access, the cunning. And now, after just 1 year, a little rain leaves me burning up. Has he already started poisoning me without my knowledge? A loud knock shatters my thoughts. Before I can speak, Kaylin, the senior housekeeper, barges in and slams a tray onto my vanity. Cold milk. Spilled noodle broth. Maggie's cooking. Ruined by this woman's contempt. Mrs. Walsh, you really are high maintenance, needing milk every night to sleep. Try not to come back so late next time. You are disturbing my rest. I set down the hairdryer. In my past life, I tolerate this disrespect to keep peace with Declan's mother. Not anymore. You do realize I am the CEO's wife, and you are merely a servant, correct? You. How dare you call me a servant? Kimberly, have you forgotten? Am I mistaken? Are you not a servant employed by the Walsh family? I showed you respect because you were Samira's attendant. Did you really think you could dominate over me? I rise to my full height, looking down at her. The woman who once ruled Javille's social circles has not disappeared. She has just been sleeping. How dare you, Kimberly? I will return to the Walsh family and inform Mrs. Walsh of your arrogance. Once you leave the Lakeview Haven villa, do not bother returning. Kimberly, do not you dare beg me to come back tomorrow. Who would want to serve a spoiled woman like you? Without being Mr. Walsh's wife, you are nothing. She slams the door behind her. I sit back down, apply my skincare, and finally look at the tray. Moments later, Maggie rushes in, her face full of worry. Miss Holden, Kaylin is stirring up trouble, insisting on taking everyone back to the Walsh family estate. I could not stop them. It seems they are heading there to lodge complaints. Mrs. Walsh, you should say something. I take a bite of Maggie's noodles. Still perfect. Still my favorite. It is just as good as always. Maggie, your noodles are still my favorite. Delicious. Maggie stares at me, realization dawning on her face. She understands now. My declaration of divorce is not empty words. Tonight, I am cleansing this house of every Walsh family parasite. If they wish to leave, let them go. Oh, and also, send the bodyguards back too. I do not want anyone from the Walsh family here at the Lakeview Haven villa. The dream drags me back into the flames of my past life. I see myself, bloody and broken, clawing for my phone inside a wrecked Maybach. I call my husband Declan for help, but his reply kills the last light in my eyes. Then a thunderous blast. The car erupts, swallowing me in fire. My heart pounds as the nightmare shifts. I am back in the Lakeview Haven villa, inside the bedroom I once shared with my husband. Declan steps out of the bathroom, a towel hanging low on his waist. He walks to the bed and grins at the woman lying there.
Awake.
Valerie, wearing only a red silk nightgown, smiles seductively. Her cheeks are flushed. It is clear what they have just finished doing.
Your phone woke me.
Declan's brow furrows.
It was your dear wife, Kimberly. She claimed she was in a car accident, dying, begging for you.
Declan's expression turns icy. He lets out a cold scoff.
She is always so dramatic about life and death. Ignore her.
I wake from the nightmare with my heart pounding. The image of Declan smirking at Valerie in my bedroom will not leave me. I walk straight to the wardrobe and pull out the red silk nightgown. The same one Valerie wears in my dream, in my bed. I grab a pair of scissors and slash it to shreds. Then I throw the remains in the trash where they belong. A commotion outside snaps me back to reality.
Who are you? I am the head of this household. What gives you the right to stop me?
I pull back the curtain and look down at the gate. 2 massive bodyguards in black block Declan's wheelchair. My phone rings. Maggie.
Mrs. Walsh, Mr. Walsh is here. 2 bodyguards are blocking him. He is threatening to call the police.
I throw on a trench coat and head out. By the time I reach the gate, it is exactly 7 in the morning. The 2 bodyguards glance at each other and walk away toward the villa across the street. Declan wheels forward, his eyes bloodshot, his face twisted with rage.
Kimberly, have you lost your mind? You threw out all the Walsh family members? My mother is furious.
Maggie steps forward to defend me.
Shut up. This is between my wife and me. You have no right to interfere.
I step in front of Maggie and fix Declan with a cold stare and point to the suitcase by the door.
You are the one who needs to shut up. This property is in my name. Your things are packed. Here are the divorce papers. Sign them.
I pull the documents from my coat and push them through the gate. Declan snatches the papers. His expression shifts from anger to disbelief.
This might work once or twice. If you are just trying to get my attention, congratulations, but I'm not falling for your tricks.
I am not playing games, Declan. Can you stop being so overconfident? It is disgusting.
Causing such a commotion early in the morning, disturbing everyone's sleep, is indeed quite disgusting.
All eyes turn toward the voice. A man stands in the doorway of the villa across the street, leaning casually against the frame. Loose white t-shirt, gray pajama pants, curly hair slightly messy. The morning sunlight hits him, sharpening every striking feature.
Why is it you?
I see Declan's face twist the moment he spots Chris across the street.
Does this villa belong to you, Mr. Howard? Is there an issue?
Chris leans against his doorframe, arms crossed, completely unbothered. Declan's eyes dart between Chris and me.
Kimberly and I have lived here for years and never saw anyone in that villa. Now suddenly you live right across from us. What your intentions are, only you would know.
My stomach turns. He is implying something vile.
Mr. Howard can live wherever he wants. Declan, do not you think you are overstepping?
Shut up. Did you know he was our neighbor all this time? Now I see why you dismissed everyone so abruptly. You had someone keeping watch.
What is your problem? Are you out of your mind?
I shove the divorce papers toward him through the gate.
Just sign the papers. If you want to cause a scene, go bother your dear sister.
Open the door.
Absolutely not. Sign the papers and we can set a date to finalize everything.
Declan grabs the gate bars and shakes them violently.
This is your last chance. Open the gate and let me in.
I tell Maggie to call the police. Declan screams that I would not dare. Then Chris's voice cuts through the chaos.
Do you need some help?
What do you mean?
Chris smiles. Then he snaps his fingers. A team of black-suited bodyguards pours from his villa and surrounds Declan.
What are you doing? Escort him out.
2 men lift Declan from his wheelchair like he weighs nothing. Another pushes the wheelchair. The rest box and Bryce until he walks away on his own. Less than 2 minutes. Declan is gone. Maggie cancels the police call, stunned. I am just as shocked by that raw efficiency.
Miss Holden, does this meet your expectations?
Chris's voice pulls me back to the present. I unlock the gate and step aside.
Yes, of course.
Glad to hear that.
He glances into my courtyard, his eyes showing genuine curiosity. Roses line the paths. A fountain with a cherub statue stands at the center. A wicker swing sways nearby. His own courtyard is packed with luxury cars. Mine is built for peace.
Have you had breakfast, Miss Holden?
Not yet. Would you care for some coffee?
Before Chris can answer, Maggie jumps in with a warm smile.
Mr. Howard, I was about to make breakfast. Why do not you join us?
Thank you. I would love to.
Maggie hurries off to the kitchen. I do not bother locking the gate. I sit on the swing, letting the morning sun warm my face.
This courtyard is really special. Did your husband arrange it?
How could that be?
I tell him my parents created this place. They knew I loved roses. The swing, the fountain, every detail was their doing.
It is only after marriage that I realized who truly cared for me. Sadly, they are no longer with us.
The memory hits me like a wave. 6 months after my wedding, my parents die in an accident. I am away on a work trip for Declan's company. I never make it back in time. Their bodies are already cremated when I return. Declan does not even show up at the funeral. A few days later, he waits for me here at the villa. He fires me. He says I abandoned the project without notice. My colleagues complained. The board demanded my removal.
Declan, those were my parents. You think I could just keep working?
He smashes an antique vase. His hand closes around my throat.
Are you cursing my parents now?
He does not let me explain. He accuses me of sabotaging the Walsh Group's critical project. My vision blurs. The courtyard spins.
Kimberly.
Strong arms catch me. I look up into Chris's tense, striking face.
You, put me down.
Do not move.
His voice leaves no room for argument. He carries me toward the villa, his expression dead serious.
You do not seem well. I have already called a doctor. Be good.
Chris carries me into the villa and lays me on the bed. He pulls a thin blanket over me and slides a pillow behind my head. His movements are careful, gentle, like he is handling something fragile. I barely know this man, yet he is treating me better than my own husband ever does.
I have called the family doctor. He should be here soon.
Did you call the Walsh family's doctor?
How could I? With Declan's attitude toward you, do you think he would send his family doctor?
His sarcasm is not aimed at me, it is aimed at Declan. And he is right. Declan would not lift a finger for me. My mind drifts back to the day my parents die in that accident. I am on a work trip for the Walsh Group. Declan has sent me to inspect an island project. By the time I rush back, their bodies are already cremated. The funeral is already arranged. Declan never shows up at the funeral. A few days later, he fires me, says I abandoned the project, says the shareholders demanded it. When I cry and ask him to understand, he grabs me by the throat. He accuses me of cursing his parents, calls me cruel, calls me offensive. I snap back to the present. My face is cold, pale.
You said only after marriage did you realize the only people who truly cared about you were your parents.
I look up at him. He is leaning against the doorframe, staring at me.
You feel that way because you married the wrong person. If you had married a reliable, responsible, loving man, things would be different.
I give him a bitter smile.
You are right. But where in this world can you find such a good man?
Who says you cannot? Am I not one?
I freeze. He is not joking. His eyes are burning into mine.
If you were willing, it would not be impossible.
My heart stops. Then my mind catches up.
Mr. Howard, such jokes are not funny. I am not divorced yet. And even if I were, I would not consider remarrying.
His expression flickers. Pain, frustration. Then he masks it with an easy smile.
I apologize. I overstepped.
Footsteps approach. Maggie enters with a young man carrying a medical kit.
Miss Holden, the doctor is here.
Chris introduces him as Rocco Braxton, his personal physician. Rocco opens the kit and examines me quickly. His expression shifts.
Miss Holden does indeed have a health issue.
The room goes dead silent. Chris's jaw tightens. Everyone waits. Rocco's face falls the second he finishes his exam. I know right then something is very wrong.
Miss Holden is not sick. She has been poisoned.
Maggie lets out a sharp gasp and starts to protest, but Chris shoots her a look that freezes her in place. His gaze snaps back to Rocco, and his voice comes out low and tight.
What kind of poison? Is it treatable?
Rocco tells him it is chronic, a slow kind, the sort that creeps up over weeks without much sign. He looks at me then, and I see the question in his eyes. I do not need to answer aloud. I already know. I have tasted the bitterness in the tea Declan brings me each evening, holding his gentle smile like a mask. Declan has been pouring poison into my cup, night after night, expecting me to weaken and die without anyone suspecting. I force my face to stay blank and tell Maggie I smell something burning. I ask her to check the kitchen right away. She pauses, staring at me, but I keep my expression even. Finally, she nods and leaves, closing the door behind her. The moment we are alone, Chris takes 2 steps toward me, anger practically smoking off his skin.
You knew.
He demands a name, his voice shaking with barely controlled rage.
My health is none of your business.
His fists tighten until the knuckles go white. For a heartbeat, I think he is going to lose control. But then he pulls back and hits me with the one argument I cannot ignore.
You must let Rocco treat you. I cannot have a business partner dropping dead in the middle of our deal.
That strikes me hard. I need this alliance. I cannot afford to let Declan win by default. I nod, accepting the treatment. Chris turns to Rocco, his body still vibrating with tension.
Is it treatable?
Rocco's reply is immediate, a simple yes. Relief shatters the mask on Chris's face for just a second, but he pulls it back fast and gives the order.
Then please proceed.
Rocco unzips his bag completely. The light catches the syringes and vials, making them glint. I watch him draw the clear liquid into the syringe, my heart beating so loudly I am sure everyone can hear. Rocco steps up, needle in hand. I do not flinch. I do not look away. I stare right at the needle as it slides in. Warmth spreads slowly through my veins, pushing back the cold that has settled in my bones. Declan has poured that poison with a smile, thinking it would erase me from his life without a trace. But he is wrong. I am still here, and now I am ready to strike back. Chris acts more panicked about my poisoning than I do. He does not ask if I want treatment. He commands it.
I will be waiting downstairs. Rocco, take care of her.
He shuts the door, trapping me with his personal doctor. Rocco just shakes his head and preps the syringe. I tell him the ugly truth about my old life. Frequent fainting, weakness, dizziness, starting right after I married Declan. Rocco draws a vial of blood. It looks too dark, almost black.
Small daily doses. This is long-term poisoning.
He packs his kit, then his eyes land on my nightstand. The half-empty glass of milk from last night sits there.
Poison is easiest in food and drink. The person doing this is close to you.
My hands go cold. Kaylin brings that milk to me every single night. I walk him downstairs. Chris is sprawled on the couch, scanning a luxury magazine. He stops at a perfume ad. The exact bottle I pawned for cash.
This one is worth millions. If you had it, you would not need the Howard Alliance.
He knows I sold it. He is backing me into a corner. Rocco glances at the picture and furrows his brow.
Strange. That perfume. I know I have seen it somewhere.
My blood runs cold just as Maggie's voice rings out from the kitchen.
Miss Holden, breakfast is ready. Will the gentleman join us?
Chris leaves after breakfast. I finally breathe. Rocco wants to stay, but Chris shuts that down fast. I finish my meal, then head straight upstairs. On my vanity sits a teardrop-shaped perfume bottle. The exact bottle from that magazine cover. Chris has talked about Kylie Dury, the legendary perfumer. He has no idea Kylie Dury is me. In my past life, only Declan knows that secret. I open the drawer. I sweep every bottle into a bag. Then I hide the bag deep inside my wardrobe. I sit on the bed. I grab my phone, video call. The screen lights up. A tired, beautiful face appears.
Aunt Mabel, I miss you.
Mabel Holden, head of the Holden Group, my father's younger sister. She smiles, but those dark circles tell a different story.
Kimberly, what makes you call today? I have some thrilling news.
Before I can continue, a man's voice cuts in. Miss Holden, the new energy project. Mabel's smile vanishes. Her brows snap together.
Cannot you see I am talking to my niece? Leave, now.
The man backs off fast. I watch her face. The exhaustion, the weight. In my past life, I do not understand until it is too late. People whisper lies about her, call her a power-hungry tyrant. But the truth? She survives 3 car accidents in 1 month. 3 attempts on her life, all while protecting my father's legacy. I return to the family and make my position clear. I want only my inheritance. The Holden Group is hers. She only solidifies her leadership after that.
Go on, Kimberly. What is the good news? You can stop worrying about the funding, Aunt Mabel. I secured an investment from the Howard family.
Her eyes go wide. Every trace of exhaustion vanishes.
What did you just say? An investment from the Howard family. What did you just say? An investment from the Howard family.
I can see her trying to process it. Her exhaustion is plain on her face.
Kimberly, did someone put you up to this? How do you even know about the Holden Group's financial troubles?
A twinge of guilt hits me, but I keep my voice steady. I tell her I heard it from Declan, that he mentioned the new energy project.
Recently? Is that what he told you?
I know better now. In my past life, Declan swoops in at the last second and steals the project. He uses my necklace to buy favor and launch his own venture almost overnight. But this time, I am not his pawn.
We have been on this project for over 2 years. I would never have leaked a word before we were ready. The Walsh Group has their own new energy project. Why did you not secure funding for your husband's company? Why bring the investment to the Holden Group?
My chest tightens. She does not know how bad my marriage has gotten. I never tell her. Now, I stop hiding.
He is not worth it. Aunt Mabel, I am divorcing him. Divorce him? You were completely in love. You insisted on marrying him.
My face burns with shame. She is not wrong. I have been a naive fool.
He was unfaithful. You know I do not tolerate deception.
I cannot admit the rest. The humiliation. The mistreatment. It is too degrading to speak aloud.
That bastard, Declan.
She slams her hand on the table, the sound cracking through the phone.
How dare he bully you? Kimberly, divorce him. You have my full support.
My heart swells. But then her face darkens even more.
I never told you this, because I did not want to burden you. That scumbag conspired with your uncle to steal our company's secrets. They used your uncle's influence to lure away the Holden Group's business partners.
My blood runs cold. Everything clicks into place. Declan has not just lucked into his success, he has been sabotaging my family from the inside.
I let it slide because he was your husband. But now he dares to bully you? Does he think the Holden family is powerless? This time, I will settle all scores with him. When did you find out?
Mabel massages her forehead, the exhaustion bleeding through her anger.
Only recently. I never imagined your uncle would team up with outsiders against our own company. I found out he secretly funded the Walsh Group's project.
After my parents die, my uncles demand to split the family assets. They get 10% each. Not enough to satisfy their greed. But conspiring with Declan? Biting the hand that built this empire?
Do you have concrete evidence?
Mabel's face tightens. She thinks I doubt her.
No. But I can get it. Kimberly, do you still have hope for that scumbag?
I pause. Hope? For Declan?
I think it is time they learned a harsh lesson. You are absolutely right. We should teach them a harsh lesson. Otherwise, these people will think we are an easy target. What is your plan?
Aunt Mabel stares at me, waiting for my plan.
First, we collect evidence of their scheme to steal project secrets. Then, we expose them all at once. We will proceed as you suggest. Whatever you decide, you have my full support.
I feel a surge of emotion. In my past life, Mabel trusts me blindly, and I throw that trust away by believing Declan's lies. The Holden Group's downfall is my fault. This time, I will fix it. Across the street, Chris stops in front of my rose garden. He picks up a watering can and tends to my roses like he owns the place. Rocco leans against the gate, watching with a smirk.
Chris, your villa is right there. Mrs. Walsh might scold you for damaging her roses. If you cannot say anything positive, do not say anything at all. You left the Howard estate to live here. You called me early this morning to check on her. What are you thinking? She is married to someone else now. Certain feelings should stay buried. You will cause her trouble.
Chris sets down the watering can. He walks toward Rocco with a faint smile.
She is married, but that does not mean she will not get divorced.
Rocco freezes. He has known Chris for over 20 years, and this stuns him.
Are you actually hoping she gets divorced? Do not disrupt someone else's marriage, or you will lose my respect. Are you out of your mind? I have no intention of being anyone's secret lover.
Everyone knows about Declan and Valerie's open scandal. They never bother to hide it. I have endured much in her year of marriage. Chris stops walking, his tone suddenly somber.
But securing a divorce might not be so straightforward. Declan will not agree to a divorce? Why not? Does he not have feelings for Valerie?
After ending the call with Aunt Mabel, I hear voices outside the villa. Chris is talking to Rocco near the rose garden. I crack the window and listen.
Declan does not want to divorce Kimberly. Why not? Does he not have feelings for Valerie? A man who wants a divorce signs the papers and leaves. Declan tried to break down the gate instead.
Chris is right. Declan refuses to let me go. Not out of love. Out of control.
I found half a glass of milk on her dressing table. White residue at the bottom, mixed with powder. Her blood shows poisoning for at least 6 months. Someone close to her. Someone she trusts. No wonder she would not tell me. She was protecting Declan.
I want to defend myself. But Rocco speaks first.
Maybe she just found out. Maybe pride keeps family shame private. If she believed that, she would not have exposed that adulterous pair at the party.
I step back from the window. I am not protecting Declan. I am protecting my own humiliation. Before I can process any of it, I hear banging on the front gate.
Open the gate. Kimberly, you shameless bitch. Come out here.
I look out. Samira stands at the gate in expensive jewelry.
What kind of daughter-in-law treats her mother-in-law this way? Do you have no shame?
And beside her stands Valerie, clutching a Hermes bag, posture delicate, every inch the victim. Maggie hurries out to confront them.
Mrs. Walsh, Miss Holden is in the process of divorcing Mr. Declan Walsh. I would advise you to choose your words carefully.
Who do you think you are to tell me what to do?
Samira mocks me without even looking at me.
Huh. The apple does not fall far from the tree. I suggest you bring Kimberly out here.
I already told you. The Walsh family has nothing to do with Miss Holden anymore. Leave now.
Samira erupts and tries to grab Maggie through the gate. Her arm gets jammed between the metal bars.
Valerie, quick, help me.
Valerie yanks hard, but the arm does not budge.
Mom, you are too big. It will not come out.
Samira screams in pain but turns her fury on Maggie.
Get Kimberly out here now. If I get hurt, my son will destroy her.
I step out and walk toward the gate, with a document in my hand.
What is all this noise about?
Samira looks at me with smug expectation, waiting for me to help her.
It is hard to find peace with a dog endlessly barking outside, is it not?
You bitch. I will have Declan sort you out.
I smile coldly and fling the document straight at her face.
Sorry, but you will not get that chance. Take this back and have your son sign it.
Valerie grabs the paper.
Mom, look! It is a divorce agreement. Kimberly truly wants to divorce Declan.
Samira freezes. I see the shock hit her.
You? Why have you suddenly decided to let go? Are you having an affair?
I scoff. She thinks her son is a prize.
Do you really think your son Declan is that appealing? I am done with him and want out. Is that not allowed?
Shut up. How dare you speak ill of my son? Kimberly, you can go to hell.
Samira's face twists in fury as she lunges her other hand through the gate, aiming for my face. But that arm gets stuck too. Now, both of her arms are trapped, like she is wearing iron handcuffs.
What?
Valerie just stands there, completely useless. I cannot help it. I burst out laughing right in front of them.
Maggie, look at this. The great Samira Walsh, stuck like a fat rat in a trap.
Samira screams, threatening to have her son divorce me.
Please do. I would welcome it.
I turn to Maggie and tell her to call property management with some tools. While we wait, Maggie brings me a lounge chair and a fruit platter. I sit down, spear a piece of watermelon, and enjoy the show.
You bitch. Do you think you can humiliate my son just because you brought 100 million into the family?
You are absolutely right, Mrs. Walsh. So when I divorce your son, I expect my money back.
Her face goes pale. All those years, I stay because of a childhood debt. I think Declan is my hero. He saves me once. I give him everything. But his gratitude is poison in my drink for 6 months. His love is sneaking around with the fake, innocent act you call a daughter. I rise from my chair.
Dream on.
You gave that money to my son willingly. You will never get it back.
My expression darkens. I let go of the business deals my family handed them, but that cash, that is mine.
I do not care how far the Walsh family has risen from the gutter. That 100 million, you will return it to me.
Samira laughs cold and sharp. You brought that money willingly. Since when do you take back a gift? She brings up the bracelet, some so-called wedding gift. I slide it off my wrist and look at it. This thing, it is not even worth 200,000. You thought you could trade this worthless bracelet for 100 million? You shameless old witch? Samira's eyes flicker. She does not expect me to know the real value. Before she can speak, Valerie jumps in. That bracelet has been in the Walsh family for generations. It symbolizes the lady of the house. It is priceless. I recline back and pop a grape into my mouth. Priceless? Then buy it. Transfer 100 million to my account right now. I hand the bracelet to Maggie and she walks it over to Valerie. Or else the Holden family's legal team will handle this. Valerie's face burns crimson with rage. She grabs the bracelet and raises her arm to smash it on the ground. Go ahead, destroy it and I will call the police. You said it yourself. It is worth 100 million. Think Declan can save you from that? Valerie freezes, and her hand trembles and drops. She turns to Samira with red eyes. Mom, she is bullying me. You gave her that bracelet as a kindness, and she treats me like this. Before Samira can explode, footsteps approach fast. The property management team arrives. 4 men in suits. The manager bows to me through the gate. Get that old witch's arms out, then make her leave. Real negotiation waits for Declan, not this stingy woman who would rather die than return money. The crew works under the blazing sun. Samira keeps screaming. Are you done yet? You are roasting us alive out here? One worker throws his tools down in frustration. He tells the manager they cannot free her without breaking the gate. I stand up from my chair. No way. Who pays if the gate is damaged? Your team? My eyes move to Samira and Valerie. Or them. This gate is custom made. Imported from Fuchsia, worth 500,000. I glance at that pitiful bracelet still clutched in Valerie's hand. Worth far more than some so-called heirloom passed down through generations. The property manager and his men go pale. 500,000. Nearly 4 years of their wages. They could never afford it. Samira's and Valerie's faces darken instantly. They know I am mocking them, and it stings. Kimberly, you are being too harsh. You are disrespecting the Walsh family. Yes. I do look down on you. What are you going to do about it? Valerie trembles with rage, completely speechless, because she has no power to touch me. Samira finally snaps. Enough! Valerie, call your brother. Tell him to divorce this woman right now. You think you want a divorce? Let us see if you end up pleading with my son for mercy. She is convinced this is just a drama I staged to catch Declan's attention. She is absolutely certain I will break down the moment he arrives. I watch her self-satisfied smirk with cold detachment. I do not care if he comes. I turn my attention back to the real issue. My property manager stands there, clueless. The only way to free Samira is to destroy my imported gate. It costs 500,000. Why do not you discuss the compensation with her? She is the one stuck, not me. The manager's face lights up. He turns directly to my mother-in-law. Mrs. Walsh, about the 500,000 compensation for the gate. Will you be handling it? Samira's face flushes crimson with absolute rage. She came here to torment me, and now she is the one who has to pay. I know her too well. She is a stingy miser obsessed with her public image. She used to humiliate me daily, thinking I would just endure it to keep the peace with Declan. But I am not that woman anymore. The illusion is dead. Forcing this greedy miser to spend money is pure justice. It stings worse than any insult. Samira stays frozen, silent at the thought of losing a single cent. The property manager's polite smile finally fades. He is losing his patience under the scorching sun. Mrs. Walsh, you can manage a simple payment of 500,000, can you not? Samira's face twists. She cannot back down now, not with everyone watching.
Of course I can pay, but must we destroy the gate? It was designed by a renowned artist.
I almost laugh. This old witch always finds an excuse to protect her wallet.
It is fine. Once you pay, I will use the money to install a new one.
The property manager straightens up, emboldened. Mrs. Walsh, what is your decision? Shall we proceed? Or should we leave you here indefinitely? A staff member checks his phone, playing along. Manager, the forecast says 40 degrees today. We could all end up with sunstroke out here. Samira shivers. Her pride crumbles.
Fine. I will pay. Just get me out of here.
The workers grin and grab their tools. Samira watches, looking physically ill at the thought of losing 500,000. Valerie finally reaches Declan. She puts the call on speaker and saunters closer, shooting me a smug look.
Declan, where are you?
At the office. Why? Missing me already?
My stomach turns. This is what he likes? This fake sugary act. Valerie beams at me like she has won something. She thinks I am jealous. She has no idea I am just trying not to vomit.
Declan, I am with Mom at Kimberly's villa. She is having the property staff kick us out. Mom wants you to come sign the divorce papers.
Silence on the line. Then Declan's voice returns, low and furious.
Are you out of your minds? Go home, now.
Valerie's face drops. She stares at her phone in disbelief. Samira snatches it, freed from one arm now.
Declan, this is your mother. Get over here and divorce that woman. I cannot bear her as my daughter-in-law another second.
But Declan's next words wipe the smile off my face.
Mom, I am not coming, and I am not divorcing her.
Valerie goes pale. Samira gapes. My blood runs cold.
No reason. Are you with Kimberly right now, Mom? Then tell her this. Even if I die, I will drag her to hell with me. She can forget about getting away from me. Even if I die, I will drag her to hell with me. She can forget about getting away from me.
I snap. Real anger explodes inside me. I do not care about Samira's taunts or Valerie's stupid games. But Declan refusing the divorce? That lights a fire in my gut.
If you want to court disaster, leave me out of it.
The chainsaw breaks through the iron gate, freeing Samira. Samira opens her mouth to spit venom, but I freeze her with a stare.
Shut up. I do not want to hear a word from you, or from you.
Valerie flinches, looking like a kicked puppy. I turn to the property manager, my tone leaving no room for argument.
The issue is resolved. Escort them out. Now.
I make it clear. If they come back, I will call the police directly. Declan's angry voice hisses out of the phone.
If you dare touch my mother or Valerie, I will ensure you die a horrible death.
The property manager has had enough. He has the Howard family backing him. He is not scared of the Walsh group. This is Howard property. Expel them immediately. The staff lunge forward. They hoist Samira and Valerie up like trash bags. Samira is so fat, it takes 2 men to drag her screaming out of the villa. Valerie shrieks, her elegant mask completely shattered. The whole scene is nothing but screaming, yelling, and struggling. I watch the chaos without a shred of pity. I give the property manager a satisfied nod.
Make sure you collect the 500,000 from her.
His eyes light up when I tell him to keep 100,000 for his men. Walking back inside, I think about my marriage. I have been the one with money. 10 million in dividends every single month. Yet Declan splits everything 50-50. He even asks me for gas money. I have been a fool, funding a man who treats me like air. No more. I pull out my phone and call the bank right there on the stairs.
This is Kimberly Holden. Cancel my supplementary bank card immediately.
The card Declan uses every day. I glance at the date on my phone screen. A cold laugh escapes my lips. Tomorrow is the first day of the new month. And I know that penniless Leech will have no choice but to crawl back here, begging me for money. The phone call with Declan cuts off, but I feel no relief. Declan is back at his office, sweating and panicking about Valerie. He slams his phone down and immediately dials his chief secretary.
Bryce, why are you not answering?
Just as he shouts, a bank notification lights up his screen. He reads the message, and his body goes rigid.
Kimberly froze my card. How dare she?
He shoots up from his chair, but a sharp pain in his groin doubles him over. Bryce finally picks up the phone, catching Declan's scream.
Mr. Walsh, are you okay?
Declan gasps through the pain, ordering Bryce to call me. He wants me to unfreeze the card immediately, but Bryce has bigger news to drop.
Mr. Walsh, the auction manager called earlier. Miss Walsh spent $12 million last night. Your card had only $5 million. We now owe $7 million.
Declan's face goes pale. $12 million. He barks at Bryce to use company funds.
The accounts are nearly empty. We only have about $1 million in liquid assets.
Declan's vision blurs. He is the CEO, sole heir to the Walsh fortune, and he cannot pay a $7 million debt, all because I freeze his card after a few harsh words.
Then call Kimberly and get the funds. Do it now. But Mr. Walsh, did you not ask me to take you to the hospital? Forget that. I will call an ambulance myself. Just reach Kimberly.
Bryce hangs up and finally lets out his laugh. Declan, meanwhile, fumbles to dial 911, his lips trembling. After giving his address, everything goes dark. Medical workers rush into the building and carry him out on a stretcher. Employees watch in shock, clueless about what happened. Minutes later, a secretary bursts into Bryce's office. Bryce. Mr. Walsh fainted and was taken away by an ambulance. Bryce looks slightly surprised, then waves his phone.
Mr. Walsh told me to handle urgent matters. The hospital has him. Go back to work.
Once alone, Bryce grins. Declan has lain unnoticed in his office for half an hour, but Bryce still has orders to follow. He dials my number. I answer without hesitation.
Miss Holden, Mr. Walsh has been hospitalized again.
Bryce's voice crackles through the phone.
Miss Holden, Mr. Walsh has been hospitalized again.
I slip on my white casual suit, phone tucked against my shoulder. A cold laugh escapes my lips.
Is he dead?
No, he is not.
If he is not dead, do not bother calling me. I am busy.
Bryce stops me before I can hang up. He relays Declan's demand, reactivate the supplementary card, and transfer $7 million more. I pause at the stairs, a wicked glint in my eyes.
Has he realized his mistake?
Mr. Walsh has not admitted to any errors.
Then he cannot expect a penny. Tell Declan he had better come back and sign the papers. My patience is thinning.
I end the call and burst out laughing. Declan's suffering is pure joy to me.
Miss Holden, is there a reason for celebration?
I slip into my black high heels, grinning.
Declan is in the hospital. That is something to celebrate, is it not?
Maggie breaks into a genuine smile. I grab my computer bag and head across the street to the neighboring villa. The gate swings open. Rocco spots me and smiles.
Miss Holden, are you here to see Mr. Howard?
Yes, to discuss a collaboration. Are you heading out, Dr. Braxton?
Rocco hurries off to some tests at the Howard estate. I step inside. The yard is stark, just luxury cars in neat rows, nothing more. Before I reach the door, it opens. A squad of bodyguards files out in 2 perfect lines. Behind them, Chris emerges in a silver gray suit, radiating authority. His stoic face flickers with surprise, then settles into a faint smile.
Miss Holden, it is wonderful to have you here.
Apologies. I ran into Dr. Braxton. He let me in.
Chris raises an eyebrow, his expression softening. I notice he is clearly heading out. I offer to return another day.
No, now is fine. I'm heading to a dinner. Why do not we discuss the proposal on the way?
He looks almost apologetic, explaining his tight schedule after just returning to the country.
It is no trouble at all. I am quite free.
Chris's eyes brighten. He moves fast to open the car door for me. Gentlemanly. Calculated.
Thank you for accommodating my schedule.
The rain hammers the Maybach windows. Inside, Chris taps my laptop screen with those long, perfect fingers. His voice is way too close to my ear.
This part needs some revision.
I go rigid. His face is right there, smooth skin, thick lashes, a jawline that could cut glass. I just stare at him. Chris turns and catches me, his beautiful eyes locking onto mine.
What is wrong?
I snap back, press myself against the car door, and clear my throat. But then he chuckles and hits me with a straight shot.
Do you find me attractive?
My cheeks go hot. Before I can recover, he does it again.
I mean, do you think I'm good looking?
I fumble, words spilling out too fast.
Yes, very good looking.
Chris smiles, his whole face lighting up.
I may not be skilled in many areas, but at least I have a decent appearance. Miss Holden, that seems to be enough for you.
I whip my head toward the rainy window, a total mess of embarrassment. Enough for me? What is that supposed to mean? But Chris mercifully stops teasing. He leans back, crosses his legs, and goes all business.
This project proposal needs some refinement. How long will you need? I'm ready to sign the contract whenever you are.
My spirits shoot up. A real contract. The official partnership.
How about next Monday?
Send me the updated materials over the weekend for my review.
I reach out my hand, ambition burning sharp in my eyes.
Let us look forward to a fruitful partnership.
Chris takes my hand, his grip firm and polite. His gaze is intense.
Do you really believe you can meet my expectations with just one revision?
I straighten my back. I remember in another life, Declan locks himself in a study for 10 days just to please this man. If Declan can do it, I can crush it.
It is not just self-assurance. It is my trust in you, Mr. Howard. With your direction, how could I disappoint?
Then I await the flawless draft you will submit.
The car stops. I look out as Chris lowers the foggy window. We are at the dock. A massive cruise ship blazes with lights in the rain. Declan, in my past life, has begged and humiliated himself just to get on this exact ship, and Felix has thrown him straight out. I bite my lip, my pulse racing. Chris watches me, his expression as calm as ordering coffee.
Felix organized this, a welcome party. It is full of industry people. Would you care to join?
Is that all right? Wouldn't it be a bother?
His car door swings open. 2 rows of bodyguards snap to attention under black umbrellas. Chris looks back at me, the rain framing his perfect silhouette.
As long as you are interested, there is no trouble at all.
Chris holds the umbrella over me, rain soaking his shoulder. Felix spots us from the deck and whistles.
Chris brought a lady? That is a first. Ignorant fool.
Felix laughs, completely unbothered. Then he turns to me with a grin.
You know, overseas, everyone thought Chris was gay. He never brings women anywhere.
Chris shoots him a death glare, but Felix ignores it completely.
One guy even confessed with 1,000 roses in the lobby. Chris was furious.
I cannot help glancing at Chris.
Did he accept the confession?
Hell no. That guy was huge. 6'3", pure muscle. If anything, Chris would have been the one in charge.
Chris grabs my hand and presses it against his bicep. Solid muscle through the shirt fabric.
I also have an 8-pack. Want to verify that too, Miss Holden?
I pull my hand back fast.
Not necessary.
Felix stares, speechless. A harsh voice cuts through.
Kimberly, what the hell are you doing here?
I turn. Declan sits in a wheelchair. Bryce pushes him, soaked in rain. Valerie stands beside them.
Go home. This is not a place for you.
I smirk, looking down at the blanket over his lap.
I thought Bryce said you were hospitalized. Is your injury healed?
Felix perks up, playing dumb.
Injury? Why is Mr. Walsh in a wheelchair?
Troubles. Down there.
Felix leans in, still acting.
Down where exactly? My family runs hospitals. I can recommend a specialist.
He is already at one of yours. An andrology clinic.
Felix's eyes go wide with fake shock.
An andrology clinic? So Mr. Walsh is impotent.
Declan's face twists with pure rage as the entire party crowd rushes out to watch.
A man with erectile dysfunction is nothing more than a eunuch. Quite amusing, is it not?
The deck erupts with the elite of Javille, their mocking stares fixed on Declan. His knuckles are white on the wheelchair handles as their whispers cut through the rain.
Shut up. Everyone, just shut up. Kimberly, come here now.
I raise an eyebrow, a cold smile on my lips.
Why should I? To attend to a eunuch.
The crowd gasps. Their whispers turn vicious. Declan's breathing becomes ragged. Then, he makes his fatal move.
You just want a divorce because you are having an affair. Hear this. I will never grant you a divorce unless you kneel and beg for it.
The entire dock goes silent. He thinks this will break me. He thinks I will back down. Instead, I step forward. A strong hand grabs my wrist. It is Chris. His grip is firm, his gaze intense.
Miss Holden, there is no need.
I pull away from his hold without looking back.
Whether there is a need or not, I will be the judge of that.
I walk down the steps, rain soaking my dress, and stop right in front of his wheelchair.
You claim I want a divorce because I am having an affair. And you mentioned our intimacy in bed.
Declan's face hardens with impatience.
We have been married for over a year. Of course, we have been intimate.
My gaze shifts to Valerie standing beside him, her eyes full of bitter jealousy. My hand moves before anyone can react. A sharp slap echoes across the silent dock. Valerie's eyes bulge, her hand flying to her cheek in disbelief. My smile returns as I look at her, then back at Declan.
Do you enjoy being involved with someone who lies compulsively like he does?
Valerie chooses her side. Kimberly, you are the one being dishonest. How can you say Declan is lying? Declan wipes the blood from his mouth, his eyes filled with a new and vicious light. It only shows we were not intimate after the wedding. Who is to say you did not sneak into my bed before then? He wants to destroy me completely, to define my past with his filth. I raise my hand to slap him again, but he is ready this time. He catches my wrist. Face it, you are just someone I have used up. Look, everyone, this is my wife, the leftover. Pick her up, and you will get a disease. The crowd on the cruise ship steps back, their faces twisted in disgust. A whisper comes from the deck. Disgusting. A cold fury flashes in Chris's eyes. He steps off the ship and hands me his umbrella. Take this. Do not get soaked. Then, he takes off his $1 million watch. He grabs Declan by the collar and lifts him into the air. Who are you calling leftover? Declan flails, helpless under Chris's iron grip. Kimberly? She is the worn-out rag. Chris answers not with words, but with a heavy, bone-crunching slam onto the wet concrete. Like a demon in the chilling rain, he presses his foot onto Declan's face, grinding it into the ground. Who are you calling leftover, huh? No matter how many times you ask, I am still talking about her. What? Do you want my leftovers, Mr. Howard? The crowd gasps. Chris's face goes blank. He removes his foot, then sends Declan flying into the icy sea with a single brutal kick. A panicked shout rises from the crowd, but Chris silences it with a single furious glare. He then focuses on the sea, watching Declan struggle. He bends down, pulls him up by his hair, and forces the half-drowned man to meet his eyes. Who are you calling leftover? This is the third time. The true fear of death finally fills Declan's eyes. I am the leftover. Chris just smirks and shoves Declan's head back under the dark water. Leftover belongs in the trash. But I am merciful. I will rinse you off before I throw you out. The crowd watches in silent horror as he tortures Declan, pulling him up for air only to drown him again, until he is nearly gone. Finally, Chris stops. He stands up, calmly fastening his priceless watch back onto his wrist. Valerie rushes forward, cradling the shivering, wrecked body of Declan. This is against the law. Even you cannot just disregard the law. Chris raises an eyebrow, a humorless smile on his lips. He turns to face the silent, terrified crowd, his absolute power filling the rainy air. Let us put it to a vote. Guys, did I break the law? People all shake their heads and shout. Mr. Howard was just teaching Declan a lesson. Breaking the law? Who is criticizing Mr. Howard? You want trouble. One of them points at Valerie. A single word from Mr. Howard can erase the Walsh family, and this is just their adopted daughter. Guys, teach her a lesson. They rush off the cruise ship, eager to show loyalty to Chris.
Ah! Let go of me. Get away.
One rich kid slaps her hard. She falls onto the sand. He curses and grabs at her clothes with the others. Ungrateful girl, you should be honored I am touching you. Soon, she is bruised and motionless, her clothes torn away. She lies in the mud in her underwear. Her hatred for me burns, but her desperate eyes find mine.
Kimberly, please help me. Save me.
A large hand gently covers my eyes.
It is disgusting. Do not watch.
Kimberly, I was wrong. I know I messed up. I should not have plotted with Declan to ruin your reputation. Please, forgive me.
I gently take Chris's wrist and pull his hand away. He looks at me, his heart sinking. He thinks I am going to plead for her, but I smile and whisper.
Mr. Howard, this party is for you. This disgusting show will ruin the view. Do you not agree?
Have you become more compassionate?
Not at all. I just do not want to watch live pornography. Declan likes her. I want a quick divorce from him and to be free. I want them to stay together.
That is my true intent. Revenge is best served cold, directly by my own hand. If Valerie is violated here, Declan's pride will not let him marry her. And she could still live a stable life.
Mr. Howard, could you do me this favor?
Chris looks at me for a long moment.
All right.
With a smile, I take his arm, and we head back to the cruise ship. Without a glance back, Chris gives a cold order.
Felix, secure the Walsh siblings. Inform their family to retrieve them.
The rich heirs drop Valerie like trash and leave. Everyone returns to the party, and the ship hums into the distance. On the silent, rainy dock, Valerie and the unconscious Declan are left hanging from a lighthouse, swaying in the cold breeze. Hours later, a black Bentley stops nearby. A middle-aged man rushes out into the rain. It is Declan's father, Leonard Walsh. He freezes, seeing the near-naked woman hanging there. He quickly looks away and speaks to Chris's head bodyguard.
I am Leonard Walsh. Mr. White told me to come and collect them.
Mr. Walsh, Mr. Howard expects you to discipline your children properly back home. If you do not, someone else will. Had it not been for Miss Kimberly Holden's intervention, today would not have ended so peacefully. The bodyguard's words shock Leonard. These are not Felix's guards, they are Chris's. Mr. Howard expects your family to quickly end the marriage to Miss Holden. Any delay will irritate him. Leonard nods quickly. After the guards leave, he throws his suit jacket over Valerie's shivering body, his expression dark and serious. Leonard's suit jacket hits my head, but I rip it off immediately. Seeing my adoptive father, tears of grievance pour out.
Dad, you are finally here. Chris humiliated Declan and me. We need revenge.
Quiet. You have embarrassed our family. Get in the car. Now.
My heart goes cold. They care more about the Walsh name than what happened to me. In the car, Declan is unconscious. Samira is heartbroken, but when she sees me, her face darkens.
Mom, it is all Kimberly's fault. She humiliated Declan first. Do not let her get away with this.
But Samira just looks at me, her eyes filled not with sympathy, but disgust. I am no longer her daughter in this moment. I am a blemish on the Walsh family honor. Samira demands answers from Leonard about handling Kimberly, her voice vicious.
The Howards are protecting you, but I will create a solid plan. No one tells my father.
The mention of Grandpa Sergio spikes my resentment. Sergio loves Kimberly like his own blood, showering her with gifts while treating Declan like trash. If Declan even looks at her wrong, Sergio punishes him. Everyone around him has to pretend to love Kimberly. The injustice of it is a poison the family swallows every single day. We arrive at a private hospital. While we wait, I sit quietly, shaking. Samira's eyes bore into me. She does not believe my story. She pulls a nurse aside with a bizarre request.
Can you check if a woman is still a virgin?
The nurse nods, and moments later, I am being dragged toward the gynecology exam room. Panic seizes me. I struggle, staring at Samira in disbelief.
Mom, why are you taking me to gynecology?
What do you think? You and Declan are so close. You may have picked up some infections from elsewhere.
With that, she shoves me hard through the door and into the examination room. My phone buzzes while I am drying my hair in the cruise ship cabin. It is a taunting video message from Valerie, showing me the inside of a private hospital. Samira is standing there, her arms crossed tightly. She has just forced Valerie into a cold gynecology exam room. The female doctor steps out calmly, and Samira rushes forward. Doctor, has my daughter had sex recently? I need the truth. Sexually active? No. Miss Walsh is still a virgin. She is in perfect health. Samira's face goes completely white. She stares at Valerie as if she is staring at a liar. She cannot understand it. Declan and Valerie live together for a whole year. Samira leaves Valerie standing there in shame and rushes to find Declan. He is lying in a VIP bed, pale and weak with a high fever. She does not ask about the fever. She is panicking about something else. Declan, be honest with your mother. Do you have some kind of physical problem? What? Stop talking nonsense. I am perfectly healthy. Then why have you not slept with Valerie? Or even that wretched Kimberly? Do you not like women at all? Declan grips the bedsheets until his knuckles turn white. I love Valerie. I have not touched her because I respect her. I choose to keep her chaste for our wedding night. The camera in the video trembles violently. Valerie is hiding behind the door, recording the whole confession. She finally knows Declan is serious about marrying her. Then she just edits the clip of this precious love confession and sends it straight to my phone. She wants to rub it in my face, to show me I am nothing to my own husband. I close the video file without wasting a second thought. I am still on the luxurious Howard family cruise ship, standing in the master cabin. I wrap myself in a white bathrobe, water droplets from my wet hair dripping onto the wooden floor. I am reaching for the fresh designer clothes hanging on the door handle. A sudden heavy knock slams against the wooden door right outside my room. Who is it? The knock makes me freeze in place. It is me. I open the door. Chris stands there in a black t-shirt, his short hair damp, the air around him carrying a sharp mint scent. But his face is too pale. He holds up a bag of medical supplies and looks away from my bathrobe. Could you help me with some medicine? I pull him inside and shut the door. When I ask where he is hurt, Chris pulls off his shirt. I lose my breath. A brutal wound slashes from his shoulder down to his lower back, raw flesh gaping, fresh blood seeping through old bandages. He says enemies attacked him when he returned from overseas yesterday. He's already injured when he carries me upstairs earlier today, when he confronts Declan for me. I press iodine to the wound. His muscles lock tight, sweat beading on his forehead. Did your injury get worse because of me? Do not worry about it too much. My injury is not related to you. I see through the lie instantly. I dab the cold sweat from his brow and touch his skin. You have a fever. I will get medicine. But his hand catches my wrist and pulls me down. I land on his lap, my hands pressed against his chest, feeling the heat of his skin through his fever. Miss Holden, are you worried about me? Of course I am. I will take full responsibility. He smiles faintly and pulls me closer. How do you plan to take responsibility? I look into his eyes and speak the obvious truth. Do you like me? Yes, I like you. Then Chris tells me that he had a dream. A long, horrifyingly vivid one. He saw me marry Declan and bring a fortune to save the Walsh family from ruin, and then repay me with contempt. 6 months later, my parents die. Declan not come to the funeral and fire me from the Walsh group and tells me to be a good housewife. Chris watched helplessly as Declan brainwashes me into a servant who can cook like a 5-star chef. He saw Declan and Valerie publicly slander me as mentally unstable at a charity auction. And Declan give my necklace to Valerie so she can show it off to the entire room. But when Chris wakes up and rushes to that same auction, there I stand, wearing an emerald necklace, dressed in a beige gown, stealing every single gaze in the room. A sudden knock at the door makes me jump. I'm in a bathrobe, sitting on a shirtless Chris' lap. We can't be seen like this. Chris tightens his grip around my waist, stopping me from moving. Don't move. My palms press against his hot chest. I whisper nervously, someone's at the door. He looks into my eyes, and his expression turns dark. Am I that embarrassing to you? The accusation leaves me speechless. I feel helpless. Mr. Howard, I am a married woman. His face goes cold. He finally releases me. I stand up fast, adjusting my bathrobe as he puts on his black t-shirt. A voice calls from the other side of the door. It's his secretary. Miss Holden, have you seen Mr. Howard? Chris opens the door, expressionless and impatient. He takes some medicine from the man and closes it again. He turns to me, seeing my panicked face. He almost looks amused. Do we look like we're having an affair? I force an awkward laugh, but he doesn't smile. His gaze is heavy. I never joke. I mean what I say. My heart pounds. This is real. He actually claims he likes me. It's absurd. Why? Could it be love at first sight? Or, Mr. Howard, do you have a thing for married women? Like one of Declan's twisted friends. That must be it. His brows furrow. His handsome face storms over completely. Are you out of your mind? Do you really see me as that type of person? I flinch at his anger. A flicker of guilt hits me. Did I misjudge him? Silence hangs in the air. Chris looks defeated by my thoughts. Fine. I confess I like married women. Happy now? My shock must show on my face. I think I guessed right. He glares at me, pure fury in his eyes, and storms out. The door slams shut with a loud bang. I'm left alone. His confession echoes in my head. Yes, I like you. The look in his eyes was so pure, so intense. My emotions are a mess. I hear his footsteps fade down the hall. A wave of sadness hits me. I open the liquor cabinet, pour a full glass of wine, and stand by the window, staring into the foggy night. I take one silent sip after another. Upsetting Chris made my mood darker, and I don't know why. I enter the banquet hall just as two men start running their mouths by a pillar. They're loud, they're crude, they're talking about Kimberly. One grins. He says a night with her would be unforgettable. The other laughs. He calls her a flirt who isn't worth the chase. Chris steps out from behind the pillar. His face is dead calm. He doesn't speak. He grabs a full wine bottle from a table. Then he walks straight at them and shatters it against the first man's head. Glass explodes. Blood and wine spray across the floor. The man drops with a shriek. The second man freezes. His legs buckle. He starts begging. Our families do business together, he cries. Let it slide. The partnership ends tonight. Chris throws the broken bottle aside. He holds out his hand. A terrified guest quickly places a new bottle in his palm. Chris smashes this one over the second man's skull too. The man crumples silently. He might be dead. Nobody moves to check. Leif kneels down, checks pulses, and looks up. They're still alive. Chris stares down at the bodies. His voice is ice. Tie them up, throw them into the sea, wash their mouths out. 4 bodyguards appear. They drag the bleeding men out like garbage. The crowd is frozen. Pure terror locks every jaw shut. Chris turns slowly. He scans the room with a soft smile that carries no warmth. He asks them if they know why he did it. No one dares to answer. The silence is absolute. They spoke about someone they shouldn't have, so tonight never happened. Video of the Walsh siblings can go viral, but not a single word about Kimberly. Is that clear? A room full of elites nod like terrified children. Chris drops the bottle. It shatters a second time, cutting through the dead silence. He lifts a champagne glass, toasts the room, and drinks. Enjoy your evening. I'm tired. He walks out. The women in the room are pale. None of them dare feel attraction, only fear. After he leaves, the hall stays silent for a long, long moment. Then the music swells again. Glasses clink. Forced smiles return. Everyone pretends it never happened, but no one forgets the sound of bone and breaking glass. After Chris stormed out earlier, I poured myself wine and stared at the dark ocean. My phone buzzed. A message from Valerie. She sent a video. I played it right there on the empty deck.
I do like Valerie. I respect her. I want to keep her chaste until our wedding night.
A cold smile crossed my face. She really sent this to provoke me. I replied with a single question mark.
You're with Mr. Howard and still have time to reply.
I shot back instantly.
How does it feel to be left hanging at a lighthouse?
Valerie's response came fast, dripping with venom.
What are you so proud of? Do you really believe Declan will keep a faithless woman like you as Mrs. Walsh?
I felt unusually entertained by her meltdown. I decided to push harder.
Already upset? Maybe spend your time convincing Declan to finalize the divorce instead of texting me.
Then I typed the final blow, just to watch her squirm.
Yes, you're right. I am secretly seeing Mr. Howard. And let me tell you, Mr. Howard is much better than Declan could ever hope to be in bed. It's only you who puts Declan on a pedestal. That weak man. I hope you two have a blissful life together.
A familiar voice suddenly spoke right behind me.
How do you know I'm that good in bed? Have you had a chance to find out?
I jumped, nearly dropping my phone. I spun around. Chris stood there, his handsome face lit with amusement. I hid the phone behind my back.
Weren't you supposed to be at the banquet?
Chris stepped closer. I backed up until the cold railing pressed against my spine.
I just showed my face there. I was uneasy leaving you by yourself.
He moved even closer. I placed my hands on his chest to stop him. Through his shirt, I felt the heat of his muscles.
I was only kidding around. Please, don't take it the wrong way.
Chris took my hand and pressed it against his cheek.
And what if I take it seriously?
His rough fingers traced over my knuckles. The air between us grew thick. I tried pulling back. He held firm.
You know, I'm close to divorcing Declan.
And then?
I met his eyes directly.
Then, I won't be the married woman you seem to fancy anymore.
Chris's face went dark as soon as the words left my mouth. My heart dropped. I'd done it again. I'd practically accused him of only wanting me because I was married. I scrambled to fix it. Mr. Howard, that was just a joke. But Chris wasn't buying my weak excuse. He moved fast, caging me against the railing with his arms. His dark eyes locked right onto mine. Divorced or not, married or not, I like you. Only you. My brain went blank. A buzzing noise filled my head. Before I could respond, Chris stepped back. He draped his jacket over my shoulders and walked away into the night. I stood there frozen, feeling the chill of the sea wind. Him having feelings for me? It didn't make sense. I pushed the thought aside. I had more important things to handle. My number one priority was divorcing Declan, no distractions. I deleted Valerie's messages, blocked her, and headed back to the party. In the banquet hall, I grabbed some food and found a quiet corner. A man with a flirty smile walked up to me. Hey, beautiful. All alone? He saw my face. His smile instantly died. His eyes widened in fear. He stumbled backward like he'd seen a ghost. Miss Holden, I have to go, right now. He ran. I looked around and noticed everyone was avoiding me. These men used to throw themselves at me. Now they run. I didn't blame them. Blamed Declan and his rumors. Fine. One more debt for Declan to pay back later. Up on the second floor, Felix watched the whole scene from the shadows. He chuckled, swirling his wine as he texted Chris. He was impressed. Chris's brutal display earlier made me untouchable to every other man here. A smart strategy. Now Chris was my only option. Felix sent Chris another taunting message. What if I decided to go after her anyway? I returned to my room and crashed on the bed. The rocking of the cruise ship pulled me straight into a nightmare. Meanwhile, back in the banquet hall, Felix was still waiting for Chris to reply. His joke about chasing me had been met with dead silence. Rocco appeared beside him, drink in hand, face serious. Felix, are you out of your mind? You're insane to say that to Chris. Do you have a death wish? Relax. It's just a joke. Chris won't take it seriously. But Felix's flickering eyes betrayed his real fear. Chris never went silent. 5 minutes of nothing was a bad sign. Don't fool yourself. This is different. Rocco leaned against the railing and cut straight to the point. You remember the cruise incident 15 years ago, don't you? Felix's face went rigid. Everyone in Javille knew that story. Chris and his family were on that ship. His parents died in the attack. He paused, eyes widening as the pieces clicked together. Could Kimberly be the little girl who saved Chris back then? You're not completely in the dark. That explains it. Why he holds her in such high regard. 15 years ago, I was 8. A summer camp on a massive luxury cruise ship. Over 100 kids, my best friend Elena by my side. On the second night, 2 speedboats crept up in the darkness. Metal hooks clanged onto the deck. Men in black swarmed over the railings. Gunfire exploded through the crowded hall. Teachers dropped. Warm blood splashed across my face. I looked up into my teacher's lifeless eyes. Elena grabbed my hand and we ran. But a man blocked our path. He aimed his gun at us, smiling like a predator. I raised my shaking hands and forced myself to speak. "Sir, we will behave and won't try to escape. Please don't kill us." The bandit paused, surprised by my composure. He glanced at Elena, who was trembling uncontrollably. Then he pulled a photograph from his pocket and held it in front of me. The photo showed a little boy. My eyes went wide with shock.